Okay, next up, we're going to take a different route to solve equations. So we did factoring already, and factoring works great when the number is a nice number, meaning, you know, a decent fraction or an integer. But what if that's not the case? How can we solve? So we'll start out with an example that actually can factor to show you the relation here. So if I look at x squared plus 14x plus 49, I know that that factors as x plus 7 times x plus 7. All right. We typically write that if it's the same thing twice as x plus 7 quantity squared. Okay. Why do I want to do that? Well, because now I can solve this equation by undoing squared with the inverse. So the inverse of squared is square root on both sides. And remember, when I take the square root, I could have positive or negative. And the square root of 25 is 5. Okay. And then the square root of x plus 7 squared is just x plus 7 because the square root and the squared cancel. And then I think about just solving x. How do I get x by itself? Well, I do that by subtracting 7 on both sides. The typical way to write that is negative 7 plus or minus 5. Now, I can actually solve that, so I can keep going. For a lot of problems with square roots, this is where we stop. But for this particular one, we can keep going. So negative 7 plus 5 is one of my answers, and negative 7 minus 5 is one of my answers. So that becomes negative 2 and negative 12. So x can equal either one of those as an answer. So if you're thinking about, hey, could I set that equal to 0 and solve? So like, could I subtract 25 and then factor? The answer is yes, but the point of this video is to add a tool to your toolbox. So we're going to look at completing the square and what the rules are so that we can always solve an equation like this one.